Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Adubato. We have a distinguished panel talking about the issue of not just talking about, dealing with, confronting, addressing the very serious issue of food insecurity. We are joined by Stephanie Glover-Wilson, is the founder and executive director of Hunger Free, Unity in the Community. Thank you so much for joining us, Stephanie.
Thank you for having me.
Your two colleagues, Shenee Omuso is Director of Education and Career Pathways at the Opportunity League. Shenee, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
And finally, Tanya Veltz is founder and president of Treehouse Cares. Tanya.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You got it. Hey, let's take this on. Let's deal with this. And let's also make it clear that all three of you are winners of the Russ Berry Award for Making a Difference, an initiative we've been involved with for well over 2 decades. The Berry Foundation recognizes people making a difference. All three of you making a huge difference in the arena of food insecurity. Let me ask you this, Tanya. First of all, tell us what Treehouse Cares is and connect it to issues of food insecurity, please.
Okay, Treehouse Cares is a nonprofit organization. I'm the founder. We provide hot meals daily, free groceries to over 400 to 500 people per week. We provide 1,200 meals per day to individuals, families, and our homeless neighbors without addresses.
And what's the area that you are in that you do that work?
We're located at 462 Sanford Avenue in Newark, in the West Ford section of Newark.
Got it. Let's put some things into perspective. In New Jersey, 800,000 people face hunger every day. 200,000 of those who are facing hunger every day are children. That speaks for itself. You don't need to know any more than that. Talk to us, Stephanie, about Hunger Free.
So Hunger Free is a nonprofit that we started. We only started to service the Bayonne community. Once COVID hit, we became a traveling Hudson County food pantry, which we actually rescue food from big companies. Me and my volunteers, 100% volunteer program. And we go to different cities in Hudson County to low-income seniors and veterans. When COVID hit, it made sense because seniors were so afraid to come outside and they had no food in their homes. And what made it really work was a lot of seniors' kids moved away to Florida and California, so they couldn't get to their parents to feed them. So we were getting a lot of phone calls through our website and through social media. Can we go drop food off to their families? And that's what we started doing, and we just kept doing it.
Directly into their homes?
Yes.
Wow. Shenee, you are down in, if I'm not mistaken, we're taping up north. You're down in Burlington County?
Yes, we are here in Burlington City, New Jersey, yes.
Talk about your organization and its connection to food insecurity.
Sure. So the Opportunity League, in about 2019, we were brought together with a number of organizations and challenged to identify a health concern in our community by the New Jersey Health Initiatives. So we received a grant to tackle food insecurity, which was the issue we decided to address. And since then, at the height of COVID, there were about 42,000 meals that were being distributed here in Burlington City through the police department and through the school system. So we definitely saw a need that food was a major issue. So we decided to, along with some of these collaborative partners, kind of join together to create Villages Community Marketplace, which is an initiative to create a grocery store right here in Burlington City, New Jersey.
Let's delve into this a little bit more. Some of the primary causes, I mean, obviously COVID, and each one of you has spoken about that to one degree or another, but inflation. Stephanie, let me ask you, the connection between inflation, higher prices, and issues of food insecurity, please, Stephanie.
The connection is that we still have single parent households. So when the inflation is going up on food, their paychecks, co-payments, and people forget co-payments, that just because you have health insurance, you still have to do co-payments. You still have to buy medicine. So food is going up, but their paycheck and their salary is not going up, and doctor visits and co-payments are going up. So they have to balance out. do I go on a line or get food from an organization, or do I pay for healthcare that my kids can't eat? And then with seniors, Social Security, they're not increasing their cost of living anymore. So it's harder for them that they are living in these stable incomes. And some seniors still own their own private homes. So it's maintenance on their homes and worrying about if they're going to eat in the next couple of days.
Yeah, the problem is getting worse. Tanya, jump in. I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, I see that with us providing that the hurdles are transportation is another issue. We have a lot of people who are in need, but we're in a food desert zone and they can't get to us, and let alone the local market, which would, in my area, is within a 2 to 3 mile radius.
Tanya, stay right there. You used the term food desert. Could you define that, please?
Okay, so a food desert is considered an area where people are not able to get to local supermarkets within a short distance. So I'm in the West Forest section of Newark, although we service all areas, but I'm in a high poverty area. Most of the residents here are low to moderate income. And so the local supermarket where I am is at least about 1.5 miles. And so they are not able to get fresh produce, dairy and organic products. So what we do is we receive about 23,000 pounds of those items per week, and we're able to provide to them. So it's a food desert because they're not able to get out. Transportation is one problem. And then a lot of people here are disabled. I'm right across from a 320 unit senior building, and they just can't, they can't.
Let me complicate it even more. Shenee, I want you to jump in here. We're taping this program toward the back end of July. It'll be seen later. But literally, as we're taping this program, it's bordering on 100 degrees outside. It is incredibly hot. Shenee, what is the connection between the weather and the issue of food insecurity and getting access to those who are providing, nonprofits like yours, providing food options, but also getting to those folks? Please, Shenee.
Sure. So it really piggybacks off what Tanya and Stephanie mentioned, just about the accessibility. So for us, we kind of see similar issues going on where the nearest grocery store is actually about 6 to 10 miles away. And in a commuter town like Burlington City, that is really inaccessible. And not to mention, you have to traverse some major highways to get there. So it's not within walkable distance. Then you pile onto that the affordability component and the overall income level of the individuals and families here in the city. So we really try to think of a sustainable way for us to provide fresh foods at affordable rates right here in the city. And so that has been a tremendous endeavor for us to really partner with other organizations and entities so that we can keep costs down, that we can stay local in the city. And not only that, but that we can provide trainings and career opportunities so that people and individuals and families can afford the products and supplies and services that we will offer at the marketplace as well.
Let me follow up on something. It's not so much about food insecurity, but it's about each one of you as individuals. Could I get a minute or less from each one of you? And I'll ask Stephanie first. Why do you do this work?
Honestly, because about 20 years ago, I was that person. I had a low-paying job. I had 2 children. I was in a really rough first marriage, and I had to fend for myself and my kids. And I said, if I ever get the education, get the better job, leave the husband, I would never want another person to live the way I lived. And once I did all that and got remarried to a wonderful husband, but since passed away, it makes me push harder because things happen and someone has to do it. And we can't leave it up to our politicians anymore. Like, we have to be the community to take care of each other because that's what we're supposed to do. it's in my DNA. It's in my spirit. God put it there, and I'm going to do it until I can't do it anymore. It's just a passion that I have.
That's pretty beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And that is the nature of the spirit of the Rustberry Making a Difference Awards. And that's why you recognized. Tanya, please, why do you talk to us? Why? The why of what you do. Go ahead.
Just as Stephanie, her story, mine is similar. I've always had a heart for giving, but I've always, in my earlier in the earlier part of my life, I had tremendous struggles. I too am married. I have a wonderful husband. He's my right arm to doing all of this. But we were young parents, and there were times that we faced eviction. There were times when we had to send our children to school just so that they can get breakfast and lunch and hope that we could provide dinner at the end of the day. We suffered job losses. We know what it's like not to have lights and electricity. And in 2013, I became very ill. And as a result of it, I lost my job. My husband was my caretaker. It was difficult for him to care for me and keep his job. So we both were out without jobs. And I was really down. I was really down. And that it was so bad that instead of praying to live, I was asking God to just, I didn't want to be in that much pain, to just take me from this. But I made a promise, as I said to him, if you heal me, I promise you, I will do your will and do your work. And boy, did he hold me to that. It's been nonstop.
And let me also add that Treehouse Cares also created an arts organization, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, the Arts Out organization was founded first. We provide free community entertainment events. It's always free for the community in various locations. And so we kind of spinned off after my illness, and we kind of just went a little left. And I said, you know what? I want to really, really help those in need. We had already built a platform with the arts and entertainment, but we used that to advance into helping communities. So we have pantries. We set up pantries in schools. We go to street corners. I'm very, very compassionate about our homeless neighbors without addresses. And I'm here at my outreach site daily.
Shenee, let me ask you, as you listen to your two colleagues, how much of that resonates for you?
So much. You know, what Stephanie mentioned was spot on. And I think it's really simple. If not me, then who, right? Like, we can't sit back and watch and wait for anyone else to create the change we want to see in the world.
Be the change. Be the change.
Be the change, exactly. And as a mother of 3 small children, now there's a legacy play here, right? Like, we've moved here to the city to be closer to the work, and the work that we are creating, the change that we are creating, we hope is for years to come, that our children will enjoy, our children will be the benefactors of this experience, and that we don't have to, you know, put off or wait or delay. We can do it now. So really, if not me, then who, you know? So we definitely here are about legacy and legacy building.
Well, first of all, powerful testimonials from each one of you, but I'm curious, before we wrap this up, I want to do something. So I think Stephanie said we can't wait for government to do it, but if there was one government policy that you believe must be changed to improve the issue or deal more directly with and help those suffering and struggling with food insecurity, Stephanie, go. Give me a minute or less.
It would be to have local restaurants and stores pack up their food and send home with the kids on Fridays so the kids can eat over the weekend, because that is one of our problems. The parents send their kids to school Monday through Friday to eat. Saturday and Sunday, our kids don't eat. So if there was a law that we can make that a backpack program, sign me up for it. I want to do it.
I'm listening to somebody who should be making policy right now.
Tell me how to do it. I'll meet you there.
Listen, all you can do is what you're doing every day and also put it out there. And it's the job of elected officials, appointed officials, to pick up the ball and do the right thing. Tanya, go. One policy that needs to be changed.
More local supermarkets. Instead of utilizing these abandoned properties and all of these vacant buildings for new development for housing. Yes, we need housing, but we need local supermarkets that will provide fresh produce, organic items, and nutritional foods to those in need.
I'm going to give you one more chance on this. Shenee, go. One government policy needs to be changed or improved.
Transforming school lunches to be healthier, to have nutritious but tasty and delicious options, and to bring the community in on the decision-making and budgetary process of how school funds are used to create menus and to create healthy choices for students.
To Shenee, to Stephanie, to Tanya, you represent the Russ Berry Award community very well, the winners of the Russ Berry Award for making a difference. We thank you. You honor us by joining us in the fight every day, not just about food insecurity, but about a whole range of related issues. And we also want to especially thank you for sharing your very personal and poignant stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having
us.
You got it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Rowan University, Hackensack Meridian Health, Fedway Associates, Inc., Valley Bank, Prudential Financial, the Fidelco Group, and by New Jersey's Clean Energy Program. Promotional support provided by Meadowlands Chamber and by New Jersey Monthly.
Hi, I'm Abby. You might see me as an ordinary person, but I've been living with a brain injury since 2018. Opportunity Project gave me hope, and I've gained confidence through job skill training and helping my family. Despite my challenges with memory, I see a possibility to keep improving.
If you have a brain injury, you don't have to face your road to recovery alone. Learn more about Opportunity Project and its partnership with Children's Specialized Hospital.